We agreed to have Health Plus come into the surgery because we were looking to change the way that our patients could reorder repeat medication. And we've constantly been trying to encourage patients to move online because it is so simple, it's so secure and accurate. And we wanted to therefore encourage a lot of our older population to go online at a particular point in time. And that was something that was happening in the background when I received the approach from Health Plus saying, here's an opportunity. We think this opportunity could help train your patients who don't have online skills to be more comfortable and happy going online, using online to access their health record. And the two really fit together. And so I was absolutely behind it from the outset.
Well, it was multifold, if I'm honest. So, part of a charity, and as part of that, we look at how we can holistically support people struggling to access food. And one of the things we saw was digital connection is really important for that. If only for being able to sign up for different grants and opportunities that were out there, but also as part of my work within a surgery, a GP surgery, we'd actually been thinking about how we can help individuals who repeatedly were saying they had to rely on a friend or a child to follow a link we were automatically sending out to support their health needs. So when I actually spoke with Tim, your colleague, and he mentioned that Health Plus Digital was offering this service, thought it was absolutely fantastic and really timely for us. And so what we then went on to do, spoke with our PPG, that's the Patient Participation Group, and they really embraced the concept and the idea, and we went from there, started as a pilot with the support of Friday, who then arranged training, which was well received as well from the volunteer, and has led to more wanting to volunteer doing it. We took it from there.
So as a surgery, we require our patients to request the appointments online via e-consult, which not all patients can access. And this includes majority of these patients being who are old and struggle with technology. So for this reason, we have coded these patients on our system so that they can call in for an appointment and speak to our receptionist who will go through the form with them. So as a surgery, we agreed to host the Health Plus digital sessions as we wanted all our patients struggling with technology to learn how to request appointments, request repeat prescriptions, and access the online data, thereby giving them the equal opportunity to use their online services if they wanted to. And we also recognise that by giving people opportunities to use the online services, we are also reducing our call waiting times.
I personally think it's really straightforward, and that's because Friday, your colleague's so engaging and really just walks you through the whole process and follows up very timely on any support that is needed. And so from our point of view, it was more about identifying somebody who would take that initial step as a volunteer. As a surgery, we value being able to offer this holistic care, and so we were quite happy to make sure time was released for managers, receptionists to be able to provide the details that were needed in terms of what NHS apps and NHS services needed to be promoted or helped support patients with. It's really straightforward, actually. Yeah.
So Health Plus provided all of the materials to help us recruit patients for the Health Plus digital sessions, and this included a video and a poster that we added to our interactive display board, and also a poster that we printed and put it on the display board, a physical display board where the patients wait. I personally received all the training required to deliver the Health Plus slots. And the Health Plus also delivered or are planning to deliver the same training to patients we identify who would like to deliver the Health Plus sessions from our surgery as well. And in addition to that, Health Plus offered experienced trainers who led the Health Plus sessions with our patients. So their experience and expertise were very valuable, and I certainly learned a lot by shadowing and supporting these sessions. So as a surgery, all we had to do was arrange a rota for the room availability and slots that were bookable for the patients. And when the patient signed up, they were allocated a slot. So in terms of that, it was pretty easy, as all the material resources and the training were provided, and we also had wonderful Health Plus staff and volunteers supporting us.
It was really easy, really easy. Everything was made easy for us. We're lucky we have a meeting room space where we can assign a bit of peace and quiet, so they were able to come in and identify some people that were willing to help. We've also got an active PPG, and we're very, very well supported by sometimes as many as 20 people in our PPG, and so they were quite ready and up for it. 2 or 3, I think it was 4 people initially encouraged and wanted to come and help. A couple have fallen by the wayside, but the others were there and went through the training, completed it, and then we're happy to continue. And we've still got one lady now who wants to keep on going into the future, so we hope to do that.
So now that the gate's been opened and we've had an individual experience the training, already we've had 2 more individuals who have signed up expressing that they wish to be trained and actually supported in helping fellow patients, really. And the nice thing is, because they can relate to the need as part of the PPG, because ultimately they are our patient group's voice, they're really keen to support it, and the partners of the surgery have embraced it to the point that we're actually going to develop a dedicated area within the surgery to support it now.
We've got the skill. It is the classic train the trainer, and so with our PPG member, Julie's her name, Julie is now absolutely empowered to do that training. The recent PPG meeting just a couple of weeks ago, she was saying, look, no, we did it in these meeting rooms, but your meeting rooms might be a little bit off-putting for some patients. Why don't I just have a chair at the back of the reception waiting area? Then it would be more like a drop-in session, and people can just see me and think, oh, it's a Tuesday lunchtime, I can go and drop in and get some hints and tips on how to use online. So it started with getting people to book their repeat medication. So a vast proportion of those people will be on repeat medication. Having got past that hurdle, being able to use that, I think the next steps are getting people to use the NHS app to be able to be comfortable looking at their own medical record. Rather than needing to ring up for results, the information is there in their own medical record. Log on, have a look at it, whilst you're having a cup of tea at home, instead of having to go all the way to the surgery. So that's a big advantage.
The Health Plus delivered the NHS app for our staff, our reception staff particularly, and these reception staff, as these reception staff get a lot of queries and deal with a lot of patients asking for appointments or struggling to book appointments. And so it was quite informative. It was useful to know how to sign up to the NHS app, and as Health Plus used a dummy account, and therefore we could directly see what the patients experience when they use our online services. So that was very useful. And the presentation was done really well, and the materials were helpful, and they answered any questions and queries that our staff had. So yeah, overall it was very good.
We've had some really glowing responses about the training and the trainers, how patient they were, how helpful they were, and I think in some instances people that possibly have had a smartphone but not really understood what they could do with it. One person, I think, had been locked out of their smartphone for a long time, went along to the training session and was so relieved to be able to log into their smartphone. So, you know, it's all ranges of explanation, but people were very, very pleased and comforted by the helpful way in which it was put across, and by somebody probably who they could relate to, as in somebody who's older and not, you know, looks like they're just out of school.
Overwhelmingly positive feedback from every single person that took part in this, and then we've had inquiries from other individuals as a result of that wanting to sign up for more sessions to help them. So it's been wonderful. We've obviously only started, so we've got small numbers, but I think the trajectory looks positive, and I think it's just highlighted the area of need.
Patients found it useful in helping them with their confidence to access their own online data. Some patients required more than one session, so they found it helpful that the sessions went at their own pace, and they found it helpful that they could learn as much as they were comfortable learning and able to take in at a time. So we've had a great feedback where patients came back and for more learning, and it went at their own pace. Patients completed a feedback form as well at the end when they completed the sessions, which the Help Plus produced. So overall, we found that the patients really found the sessions valuable.
That's a more difficult question to answer. It tends to go when there's a stimulus, when there's a point of change. So as we went through COVID, and people were getting these direct messages from NHS England, there was, why is it happening to me? How do I stop it? Very often, or how do I respond? How do I make this booking? And so there was peaks and troughs. We've moved past that period now, and it's more about how do I access my medical record, I think. And that's my impression. I'm not sure exactly whether there's been a discernible difference to what the reception team receive in terms of inquiries. We are still encouraging patients to go online because inevitably we have a high number of patients who were used to making their calls to make a prescription request via the telephone, and now ideally we want them doing it online. That's the way our system works best. It's easiest for them.
Now, this one is a bit of a difficult question because with us being very early in the process, we haven't had enough people go through the service for it to translate into that. In some ways, those who have been through it feel more confident in being able to access information, which can bring about consequences which are really, really positive for them. Ultimately, then there's those questions about the content of what they found and that extra support needed. So this isn't so much about just saving time, it's about the service and the quality of service, and enabling as many of our patients and community to be able to access the new digital age, which is here, and we want to embrace it and support people in using it.